Welcome children. I hope you all are safe at home. Today we are going to focus one of the chapters from history. Our topic today is World War II. So before I get into the topic, I have a question for you. What is history? History is the study of past events which particularly connected with the human affairs. So how will we learn the human affairs and the past history? It's very easy. We'll ask a few questions. One is, what happened? How it has happened? Why it has happened? Where it has happened? So when we get answer for all these questions, we'll get a clear picture of any event. So now we are going to learn in the same way the World War II. So before we get into that, let's recap whatever we learned in World War I, which is correlated with the lesson World War II. So first question, when the First World War started? It was started in the year 1914 and continued 4 years, and it came to an end in the year 1918. Which country is involved in the World War I? There were two groups. The first group is Allied powers and the second groups are Central powers. So first one, Allied powers. We'll see who all are: Great Britain, France, Russia, Italy, USA and Romania. Once again, Great Britain, France, Russia, Italy, USA and Romania. These countries together known as Allied powers. Next comes Central powers. The countries are Germany, Austria-Hungary, Bulgaria and Ottoman Empire. Next, who won the war? Answer, Allied power turned victorious. Who turned victorious? Allied power turned victorious. What is the name of a treaty they signed after World War I? The name of a treaty is Treaty of Versailles, which was signed on 28th of June in the year 1919. So, we ask all these questions and we get a clear picture about World War I. So, this is how we are going to see the topic World War II. Let's start. Are you ready? So, you can see some pictures which tells about the peace treaty and the Hall of Mirrors. Next one, the people signing the Treaty of Versailles. So now let's go with the three different things. First one, battle. We'll know the difference between battle, war and World War. So first one, what is battle? Battle, it used to fight. The fight used to take place in one particular area. We have learned in your early classes. The first one, Battle of Panipat. It took place in one particular area called Panipat. And second one, the battle, the duration will be short. It won't continue for years and years. It will get over within months or within days. Then the third feature of a battle, the death of civilians are less during the battles. Who are civilians? Civilians are the people like us who are not directly involved in the war, are known as civilians. So, what are the basic things we know about battle? It fought in one particular place. The duration will be short and the death of civilians are less. Next one we'll see war. What is war? War is a combination of many battles. It used to take place in many locations. And the duration of war, it will be long. It may continue for years. Next one, the death of civilians are massive during wars. Then, what is World War? The war fought on several fronts are known as World War. For example, we know World War I fought in the different countries of Europe. Then the second feature of a World War, very high death toll of civilians as well as armed combatants. So who are known as combatants? The first thing you must know, the combatants are the people who directly involved in the war. The fighters are known as combatants. How they are known as? They are known as combatants. So next one, we'll go with duration of World War II. So we are going to read this detail in the next topic. So now we'll see the duration alone. 1939. The war started in the year 1939 and came to an end in the year 1945. So you would see that map. You could see the map. So here you could see the countries in green color. Those countries are known as allies. So the countries are United Kingdom, France, Belgium, USA, China, these countries, and USSR. They played a vital role. So USSR, it's given in the book. So USSR, what is that full form of USSR? Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. But now you must know, children, now there is no USSR, it's Russia now. So now we'll see which countries fall under Axis power. So the second category of countries are Axis power. So who are Axis power? You know, Germany, Hungary, Italy, Bulgaria and Japan. Once again for you, you could see the countries in saffron. So children, you must notice this question they will be asking you in a board exam. So you have to be thorough with this particular map. So in compulsory question part, they may ask, so what are the countries? So you must know to locate these countries. So what are the countries in the side of Axis power? They are, first you must keep Germany, Hungary, Italy, Japan, Bulgaria. So these countries come under Axis power. So are you people thorough with this, children? So you must keep in your mind that there are two groups, allies and other group is known as Axis power. So allies are, let me repeat, allies are United Kingdom, France, Russia, USA, China. These countries are known as allies, whereas Germany, Hungary, Italy, Bulgaria and Japan are known as Axis power. So next we are going into the causes of World War II. So let's get into the causes. What were the causes led to the World War II? The first one, Germany and Treaty of Versailles, which was signed in the year 1919. So children, you must keep in your mind, so Treaty of Versailles, which totally suppressed Germany, was one of a major reason for the World War II. So first one, there were three class which totally against to Germany. The first one, Germany was forced to give up territories to the west, north and the east to the German border, east of the German border. For example, in the west, Alsace and Lorraine was given to France. Then in the north, northern border was given to Belgium, and in the eastern border, example, the eastern portion of German was given to Poland. So like this, the German borders were shared between the allies after the World War I. Second one, Germany had to disarm. German was not permitted to modify their army or equip their army. Then they were not allowed to retain a very big armed force. They were permitted to have only 1 lakh men in their armed force. The reason why they are not permitted to modify their army, the allied countries, they feared that if they equip their army or if they modify the army, what will happen? They may attack the other countries at any time. So in order to stop that, they not permitted Germany to have a big army and they allowed to have a small navy. Then the third class, which is totally against to Germany, was Allied countries. They blamed Germany as the major reason for starting the war. So they have to pay the compensation. They expected to pay the very big amount as a compensation. By the time it was 6.6 billion pounds. How much? 6.6 billion pounds. So all these three clauses of the treaty, it's totally suppressed Germany. So because of this only, the people of German, they got angered. The second cause of World War II is failure of League of Nations. So children, we have learned in the lesson 1 in World War I, the treaty which signed, it's Treaty of Versailles. As per the one of the clauses of Treaty of Versailles, they plan to set up League of Nations. League of Nations means a group of nations. They join together and they form one international organization. So what is international organization? At different countries, they join together and they form an organization. So what is the major objective of a league? The first objective was avoid war and second objective, maintain peace. They want to avoid war and maintain peace. So in this motto, they set up a League of Nations. So you know that America took initiative and they led to the formation of League of Nations. So it is actually brainchild of American President Woodrow Wilson. It's a brainchild of American President Woodrow Wilson. Then when the league was started, it was founded in the year 1920. From 1920 to 1925, the work went on smoothly. They solved so many international issues. For example, they solved the problem between Finland and Sweden regarding the Åland Islands. And they also solved the problem between Germany and Poland regarding their border issues. If you notice in your map, which is given in the book, you would see they are very close, the neighbors. Poland and Germany are neighbors. So in that way, when they have a border issue, it's brought to the knowledge of League of Nations, they smoothly solve the problem. But later, the work of League of Nations faded. What's the reason why the League failed? The major reason behind it, America did not become the member of League of Nations. We may ask, no, America is the one who took initiative to form a League of Nations, but why America did not become the member of a league? There is a reason. They followed, United States followed policy of isolation. They followed the policy of isolation. That means they don't want to interfere in any world issues because already they spend more and more money during the World War I. So in order to avoid this situation in future, they don't want to involve themselves in any issues which is happening around them. So by saying America, the other countries also, they plan to maintain isolation, which is known as non-interventionist. What it is called? Non-interventionist attitude. It is called non-interventionist attitude. So because of these, the countries like Britain, France, they didn't bother what's happening around them. So because of this situation, the other countries like Italy and Japan, they made use of the situation and they tried to expand their boundaries. So after this, the league remained ineffective. It's not functioned well. Next one, rise of dictatorship. So children, you know what is dictatorship? In 9th standard you learned dictatorship. It's a form of government where a single person has absolute power. He never get any discussion with or suggestion from anybody else. Whatever he decide, he implement his own ideas. So we may ask why the people prefer the dictatorship. So there is a reason behind it. After the World War I, the people lost hope in the elected governments. For example, we learnt Germany, which was totally suppressed after World War I. The people who signed the Treaty of Versailles, it's a people, elected people, Weimar Republic. The members of Weimar Republic signed in Treaty of Versailles, which totally suppressed Germany. So by saying this, the people, they started to lose their hope in elected government. So this paved the way for the dictators to establish their rule. So we'll see here the three dictators: Hitler, Germany, Mussolini, Italy, Franco from Spain. So these dictators came to power in between 1918 to 1939. So I think this is one of your 2-mark question, very important too. So we'll learn once again. Hitler, dictator of Germany; Mussolini, dictator of Italy; and Franco, dictator of Spain. So this problems which prevailed in the countries by the time, it's led to the rise of dictatorship. So we are going to see the next reason: post-war crisis in Germany. So we learned that Germany faced so many problems after the World War I. So the major reason, it's high employment. What was the major problem faced by the Germans? The first problem, high unemployment. So why suddenly there was unemployment? Why the people were thrown out of the jobs? The reason is, as per the Treaty of Versailles, German people were not permitted to equip their army or manufacture war-related goods. So in that case, what happened? The people, those who are working in the manufacturing industry, they turned jobless. So at the same time, the people are not able to get a job opportunity in the armed force, because the armed force were limited to 1 lakh men. So next problem is severe inflation. Next problem was severe inflation after the war. Already we learned that German expected to pay a huge amount as a compensation. So in order to solve all this problem, financial issues, they started to print more and more currency. So in such case, we learned if there is more circulation of money, automatically the prices will increase, so the value of money will decrease. In the picture you could see the people are carrying a bulk of money to just buy one loaf of bread. So just in that way, the money, the German currency, it's turned worthless. Even though if those people want to buy a single product, they have to carry the bulk of money, bulk of currency. See that in the third picture. These people are carrying money just to buy a loaf of bread. So what were the 3 problems faced by the Germany after World War I? Germany experienced high unemployment, severe inflation, and its currency, German currency, became worthless. So this was the reason, the crisis in Germany. Then next one, the rise of Adolf Hitler. So children, we all know, every one of us know who is Adolf Hitler. He is the well-known dictator in that, and we also know he was the one who founded National Socialist Party known as Nazi Party. Apart from that, we all know he was gifted with oratorical skills. So when the people listen to a speech, immediately they'll follow Hitler. So the reason behind it, he took 3 weapons to attract the people. The first one was, he promised the people that return to the glorious military past of Germany. What he promised? He promised that return to the glorious military past of Germany. So we learned that during the initial stage of the World War I, Germany was successful. So it shows that their armed forces were powerful. So later, what happened? As per the Treaty of Versailles, they are not able to modify the armed forces. So now Hitler gave that promise that if he come to power, immediately he'll bring back to the glorious military past. So people, they're ready to follow Hitler after get to know this promise. Second one, he strongly believed that Aryan race is the superior race, and also he told that German people are the pure Aryans. So the people felt very much happy about it. And the third thing what he took to attract the people, he totally hated the Jews. He hated the Jewish people. Whatever the oration, wherever he give a speech, it's oration, it's totally against to the Jews. So people started to believe that Hitler was the savior. He is going to save our German people from all the struggle which those people were facing after the World War I. So Hitler, by making use of this opportunity, he came to power in the year 1933 and he ruled till 1945. Next cause, the direct contraventions of clauses of Treaty of Versailles. So when Hitler came to power, immediately he started to break all the policies which they signed during the Treaty of Versailles. The first one, Hitler began to rearm Germany. So in the treaty, we have seen German has to disarm. Now Hitler, he started to rearm Germany. He started work against the Treaty of Versailles. Then second one, he recruited the people in the armed forces and also manufacturing industries. So when he done this, many people, they get job. So slowly they came out of the unemployment. Then next one, Italy. By the time we'll come to Italy, it's break with Britain and France, because we learned during the World War I, Italy was in the side of Britain and France. Now, Mussolini, he became the dictator of Italy by the time. So he don't want to continue the relation with Britain and France. So he came out and it's led to the way for developed friendship between Hitler and Mussolini. Italy break out from Britain and France. It's led to the formation of Rome-Berlin axis. What is that? Rome-Berlin axis. Actually, Rome, it's a capital of Italy. Berlin, it's a capital of Germany. So, Italy and Germany, they join together and form an alliance. So, now we also can say that Mussolini and Hitler, two dictators now join together. So, it's one of a severe threat for the world by the time. Later, Japan also joined in this alliance. So, when Japan turned with Italy and Germany, it's turned into Rome, Berlin, Tokyo axis. How it's turned into? It's turned into Rome, Berlin, Tokyo axis. So, Rome, as I said, capital of Italy, Berlin, capital of Germany, and Tokyo, capital of Japan. So, now these three countries, they are very aggressive and they were focusing on expanding their boundary. These three people, they joined together. So, almost they are reaching nearing the World War II. Then the last topic we are going to see, the causes, allies and non-intervention. Already we have seen the word isolation. It's similar here. So, Italy invaded Ethiopia in the year 1935 and Albania in the year 1939. So, by the time the Emperor Haile Selassie of Ethiopia approached League of Nations by claiming his right, And also by the same time, Japan captured Manchuria. Japan invaded Manchuria. So, and all these are ignored by League of Nations. So, also the allies also ignored this. So, actually, those people, they were doing against to League of Nations, but League of Nations did not take any timely act for it. Then, in spite of all these manifestation of military activity by Germany, Italy and Japan, Britain and France continue to be non-interventionist. They don't want to bother what's happening around them. The reason behind it, Britain do not want one more war. They are not favored to war. So that is the major reason they followed non-intervention attitude. The next one, the United States are totally indifferent outside world and was concerned with revival of economy after the Great Depression. Next, and the last one we'll see, Munich Pact. So first one, Munich, it's a place in Germany. Munich Pact means agreement. So Munich, it's a place in Germany. There they signed the agreement. So who signed the agreement there? Here, the two people, British Prime Minister Chamberlain. He signed the pact with Germany, actually with Hitler. So what is the feature of the fact, which was very shameful acceptance of Germany's invasion of Czechoslovakia to annex German-speaking student land. So, by the time Hitler gave one assurance, he will not invade any other places, that Germany would not attack any other places. This was broken immediately. Hitler gave the promise that except student land, Hitler will not attack any other places. Hitler told he will not attack any other places as per the Munich Pact. So after that, what happened? He didn't keep up his promise. Immediately, he broke the promise. In 1939, he invaded Czechoslovakia. Soon after that, Poland was attacked. So this led to the final act, which resulted in the declaration of war by Britain and France against Germany. So Hitler, he didn't keep up the promise during the Munich Pact, what he promised during the Munich Pact. So this is what causes which led to the World War II. So in next class, we'll go over the cause of the war. Thank you, children. We'll meet you soon.